Hello, friends, and welcome to our knowledge lesson for today. And in our cub, you will know what characterizes things as living or non-living. You will understand that living things have certain characteristics. You will be able to identify if an object is living or non-living. Can you take a guess about what do you think we're going to be talking about in this unit? Look at the picture on the screen. What do you think? If you said plants, you are correct. In this unit, we will talk and learn about plants. Plants are living things that have leaves and roots and make their own food. All living things have similarities, and similarities means some things that are the same. They all need food, air, and water. People and animals need food, water, and air. In the same way, plants, like trees and flowers, are also living things that need food, air, and water. Living things also reproduce or have babies. Since plants are living, they can reproduce to make other plants just like themselves, kind of similar to our parents, making us or having us. Now, I want to see if you can name the things in this image or picture. Ready? Let's see. Roses, yes. A tree. A cactus. A petunia, and a petunia is a type of flower. Grass. A palm tree. A girl. An ant. A cat. A frog, and Miss Blanks is terrified of frogs. And a chicken. So all of these things are living things. They all need food, air, and water. Okay. Non-living things like this chair do not need food, air, or water. They can't reproduce or have babies either. Now we're going to play a game, okay? And you will have to tell me if the picture I show you is living or non-living in a complete sentence. So for example, I will ask, is this chair living or non-living? You will say, the chair is non-living. Ready? All right, let's go to the next picture. This is a dog. Is a dog living or non-living? A dog is living because a dog needs food, air, and water. Let's try this one. A tree. Is a tree living or non-living? A tree is living because it needs food, air, and water. Good job. Ooh, what about a rock? That one's a little tricky. I bet I tricked you on that one. Is a rock living or non-living? If you said non-living, you are correct because a rock doesn't need food, water, or air. Oh, what about a little kitty? Is a kitty living or non-living? A kitty is living because it needs food, air, and water. What about a chalkboard that you might see at school? Do you think a chalkboard is living or non-living? Yes, a chalkboard is non-living because it does not need food, air, or water. What about crayons? Crayons, you see those at school too. Are they living or non-living? Yes, they are non-living because they don't need food, air, or water. What about Miss Reed, our principal? Is she living or non-living? Yes, she is living because she needs food, air, and water. Good. What about a table? Is a table living or non-living? A table is non-living because it does not need food, air, or water. What about a flower? Yes, a flower is living. A flower is living because it needs food, air, and water. All right, so now you're going to listen very, very carefully to our read aloud, and I want you to pay close attention to the things that plants need, okay? So you're going to be listening for things that plants need. Okay, ready? Okay. What do you see in this picture? One thing that I see is roses, and I see a frog, and I see a girl. And there are many different kinds of people, animals, and plants that live in our world. The word plant means living things that have leaves and roots and make their own food. You'll probably recognize many of the living things in this picture. In some ways, people, animals, and plants are alike. They are alive. They need food, water, and air to grow and stay alive. But plants, people, and animals are different in many other ways. How do you think plants and animals are different? How do you think plants and animals are different? Okay. So I can say that sometimes plants and animals are different because animals can walk and animals can make noises. Plants can't walk or make noises. And something about plants, plants can make their own food, but animals cannot. Okay. Unlike animals and people, plants do not make sounds. That's something that I said. And they cannot move from one place to another. And that's another thing that I said. Plants need 4 basic things in order to live and grow. So listen carefully because these are the things that plants need. They need food, water, air, and light. So plants need food, water, air, and light. If a plant has these things, then it can survive, even in a little crack in the sidewalk, just like this little dandelion. A yellow flowering plant in this picture is called a dandelion. A few weeks ago, a tiny dandelion seed floated through the air and landed in this crack, where there was just enough soil for it to begin to grow. Soil is the top layer of dirt where plants grow. The dandelion gets plenty of sun in here, and it also gets plenty of air, water, and nutrients. And nutrients are like vitamins you get from your food. This shady forest is home to many different types of plants, from the tallest tree to the tiniest flower. A forest is a large area of land where many trees grow close together. Animals that live in the forest depend on these plants for food and their homes. These forests is just one environment or place where living things live, of many on this earth. This is another type of forest. There are some major differences between the colors and the shapes of the leaves on these trees and the leaves on the trees in the last picture. In a later lesson, you will learn about 2 different types of trees. This environment looks very different from the forest we saw in the last images. All plants need food, water, air, and light. But not every place in the world has exactly the same amount of food, water, air, or light. So this is a desert. It is hot and dry all year round, so it doesn't really rain a lot. They get a lot of sun. Plants that grow there, such as cactus, this is a cactus, have adapted to a life in sandy soil with very little rain beneath the blazing hot sun. That tough little dandelion and the trees you saw earlier would wither and die if you tried to plant them here. So they wouldn't be able to survive in the desert. And the cactus in this desert would not be able to live in either the sidewalk crack or the forest. Different types of plants grow in different environments or places. So that's something to remember. Not all plants can live in the same place. This picture shows an underwater environment. Fish may be the first things that come to your mind when you think about underwater life, but there are also plants down there too. Underwater plants need the same things other plants need, including food, water, air, and light. Have you ever seen underwater plants? I have. I went to Hawaii and I got to swim around a little bit and I got to see a little bit of the algae. This environment is not a forest, not a desert, and definitely not underwater. This is a city park made when people gathered seeds and planted them in the ground. People plant grass, seeds on lawns, and in parks, so they're very nice places to play and relax. People plant flowers and trees to make the world look a bit prettier. So I'm pretty sure you've maybe been to a park where they have flowers and trees. One park that I like to go to is called Discovery Green. You should try it. Some plants can be grown indoors. Maybe you even have one in your classroom or at your home. If so, someone needs to water it from time to time so it stays healthy and green. And if you notice, they have the plant by a window so it can get light from the sun. Maybe if you have a plant in your home, maybe you noticed that the plants are by the window. All plants have 4 basic needs. Okay, plants need food, water, air, and light. But not all plants can grow in the same places on Earth. A dandelion cannot grow in a desert because it is too hot. And a corn plant cannot grow underwater because it will be too much water. Over the next several days, you will learn all about different types of plants and plant parks. You will understand why plants are so important to animals and people. Now it is your turn. So you're going to create a Flipgrid video and you're going to answer these questions. You're going to name some places where plants live. How are the pictures the same and how are they different? What did you learn about plants in the read aloud that makes you think plants are living things? What do you think would happen if plants didn't have food, water, air, and light? Okay. So make sure you submit your videos on Flipgrid and I can't wait to watch them. Okay. And if you forget some of these questions, you can always go back to find the answer. Okay. So I'm going to name them again. Name some places where plants live. How are the pictures the same and how are they different? What did you learn about plants in the read aloud that makes you think plants are living things? And what do you think would happen if plants didn't have food, water, air, or light? All right, I will see you all soon. Bye.